We look at the legacy of the former US Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld, who's died at the age of 88.
Donald Rumsfeld, one of the principal architects of the invasion of Iraq in 2003, has died at the age of 88. He served as Secretary of Defense under President George W. Bush, and his leading role in promoting the Bush administration's so-called war on terror has been heavily criticised by many. Our North America editor John Sopel has more.
Donald Rumsfeld served 4 presidents over 5 decades. Hawkish in outlook and a waspish personality, he was a key architect of America's response to 9/11, the invasion of Afghanistan, and most controversially, the invasion of Iraq. A Navy pilot in the 1950s, Rumsfeld later became an Illinois congressman. Richard Nixon and Henry Kissinger saw in him a cold ruthlessness and gave him a job in cabinet.
A strong defense posture gives weight to our values and our views in international negotiation.
In 1975, under Gerald Ford, he became the youngest ever defense secretary. Ronald Reagan sent him to the Middle East, where he met Saddam Hussein, the leader he'd one day helped to overthrow.
I'm submitting the name of Donald Rumsfeld to be Secretary of Defense.
Nearly 20 years later, George W. Bush reappointed him Defense Secretary. Within months, America came under attack. Rumsfeld was in his Pentagon office on September the 11th, 2001, when an airliner hit the building. He helped move the injured and then planned a way to strike back. Rumsfeld believed the Iraq war would be over quickly, but there was no plan for building a peace. A fierce insurrection followed that claimed thousands of lives, and the pretext for the invasion, Saddam's weapons of mass destruction, but none were ever found, and Rumsfeld struggled to explain why.
There are known knowns. There are things we know that we know. There are known unknowns. That is to say, there are things that we now know we don't know. But there are also unknown unknowns. There are things we do not know we don't know.
In this so-called war on terror, he was prepared to push boundaries, including the treatment of suspected militants. But when these photographs of the brutalization of Iraqi prisoners appeared, there was a backlash.
These events occurred on my watch. I am accountable for them, and I take full responsibility.
The scandal damaged him, and with his Iraq strategy increasingly questioned, he resigned in 2006. Donald Rumsfeld was a neocon, a man who believed American power could be used to spread democracy. He was never short of critics, but until the end, he remained steadfast in his belief that he'd acted in America's best interests.
Donald Rumsfeld, who's died at the age of 88.